Welcome back. I am very excited today to do something that I haven't done in a very long time, which is take some online, personality type quizzes. I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate to this because, there's thousands of quizzes, so someone has to be making them and someone has to be taking them. But as a teenager, I was obsessed with finding quizzes online and, just taking them to find out, who I was or what X I was, if I was a vampire or a werewolf, or what color I should be, or am I a fairy or a mermaid, that sort of quiz. I don't know why, I just went through a phase where I was taking those quizzes every single day, and I needed to know everything about myself, which is weird, because, I'm me, so I already know it's weird, whatever, it's fine. But I thought it would be fun to kind of delve back into that. There's a trend that I've seen on TikTok that is a shape-shifting filter, and it tests to see whether you're a Barbie, a Bratz, or a fairy, and that's kind of what got me thinking about this, what doll would I be if I took quizzes for different doll lines? So that's what we're gonna do today. So I have a couple up here that I have prepped for you, and we're just gonna go ahead and take them together and see what my, stereotypes are. I don't know if that's the right word, but yeah, and I will have all of them linked below as well, so if you guys also want to take these quizzes and see who you are, what characters you are, and how you compare to me, that could be super fun. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, so the first one I have here is which Rainbow High character are you most like? I know Rainbow High's website has their own quiz, but it's one where it's super obvious what you're gonna get at the end, and I don't like quizzes like that because I want to know what I actually am, not what I am based on choosing what I already know what I'm gonna get. It's kind of like if you take a Monster High quiz, it's oh, where would you want to go on vacation? If you say Egypt, of course you're gonna get Cleo. So I don't like quizzes like that. So hopefully, I haven't taken any of these that I'm doing today yet, but hopefully they'll be a little less biased. So, first question, what would you consider your sense of style to be the most like? A disaster, but that doesn't seem to be an option. I would say I'm kind of in between edgy, sporty, and trendy because I think I have a little bit of edge, but I would go closer to unique, pastel, and gothic just because frankly pastel and gothic, unless it's pastel goth. Pastel? Pastel. I don't know where I am. But yeah, those are kind of opposite a lot of the time unless you're in that specific niche. And then unique, and I do feel like my style just changes all the time. What is your stance during a lot of drama? Let's see. It kind of depends. It depends on what the drama is, because I feel very, very impassioned about some things, and other things it takes too much mental energy for me to get in. I guess I would state my opinion, but not get, too involved. What type of first impression do you usually try to go for? Sorry, I am, kind of going through these, so feel free to pause if you need to, actually be able to read the different options. I just am kind of going through it quick, because I have a few quizzes to get through, but I would say I want to be joking. I want people to think I'm funny. That sounds so sad. I want people to think I'm funny. Which of the hobbies are you most interested in? Oh, okay, makeup, building, or creating? Probably creating. I like makeup, but I probably draw more, or I probably like that more than I like doing my makeup. How expressive would you say you are? I would say I'm pretty expressive. I really have a hard time not telling people what my opinion is, which can get me in trouble sometimes. Am I impulsive and do I take risks? Yeah, I would say unintentionally. I'm not out here oh, I'll do anything just for me, but I just kind of do what happens and I don't always think about the consequences. What would you wear to a party? I don't love parties. Something chill, yeah. I do not want to be the center of attention at a party. That sounds awful. How do you feel about revenge? I'm not gonna lie, I like revenge. Oh, that's not a healthy answer, but in some cases I really feel like people deserve it. Which Series 2 character would I believe I'm most close to? I don't even know. I can't remember all their personalities. I know Crystal is a journalist, Karma is an influencer. Stella had that funny meme about her, and I think that I relate to that the most, so we're gonna go with that. Which character would I want to be best friends with? This is, again, hard. I don't watch the webisodes, so I'm just... I don't know. I think that Jade would be a good friend. She could do my makeup and I would look super cute, but never cuter than her, of course. And I think she would tell it to me straight. Ooh, okay, I got Ruby Anderson. Fire, you got Ruby. I am a pretty bold person, I would say. Okay, that's fair. I am also really bad at remaining calm. So thank you to this quiz for giving me that little bit of life advice, I guess. Fun! Ruby actually is like one of my favorite dolls, so I'm kind of into that. Fine. What's the next one? Monster High. Which Monster High girl am I? This one is really hard because I think that the Monster High quizzes are always the ones that are so easy to predict. So hopefully this will be a little bit better. Okay, cool. What's your favorite kind of music? Oh, okay. This is really hard for me because I am a kind of person who I'll listen to any genre of music. I listen for the lyrics more than I do the beat. So I don't really care what genre music is as long as I like the lyrics and I like the meaning of the song. I guess I probably listen to more pop than anything else. I also think that pop in the top 40s can be similar. So like, I don't know. What's your latest obsession? I don't have a Twitter. Well, I have a Twitter now, but I don't use Twitter. I don't want to be super popular. I'm gonna say just chilling with my friends. I just want to hang out. Like I just want to have chill vibes. How would I describe my style? I feel like this is gonna be a question on all of them. They're dolls. That makes sense. It changes every day. For shoresies. Gross. For shoresies. How would I describe my social circle? I would say I have a few best friends, but I am nice to everyone. Because I think you should be nice to everyone. Unless, like, they've wronged you. In that case, go off. But, like, in general, yeah. When it comes to dating, I like people who are... I guess I would just say I don't really have a type. Because, not to out my fiance here... I'm sorry, Tony, if you end up watching. I wouldn't call him, like, stereotypically cool. Like, he's not, like, the super, like, suave dude. And he's not athletic. Sorry, babe, I love you. He's a gamer boy. But that's not an option. So I like funny gamer boys who are nice to me. Love you, babe. What's your favorite way to spend a Saturday? I don't have homework. I'm 24 years old. Ew, exercising. No. I guess just hanging out at the mall. That'd be, that's fine. Hanging out with people I enjoy. My pet peeve is... Ooh, all of these. I don't like when people act like they're better than me at all. I don't like when people aren't true to themselves because there's no point. You're only hurting yourself. I understand people who don't like me for no reason because, like, I alone am a reason. Probably people who act like they're better than me. That irritates me so bad when someone, like... just thinks that they're better than you and they don't even know you. Oh, ooh, I'm gonna get heated. Let's not do that today. Not in this one. If I could have one wish, what would it be? Okay, that's silly. Anyone who says they wouldn't wish for anything is lying. Honestly, yeah, more hours in the day. I'm always, like, running 1,000,000 miles a minute in my head. I've always got 30 things that I have to do at once, so that would be incredible. Maybe I could actually relax at some point. My best friend is... my personal assistant. That's awful! I would say my rock. But I don't think that my best friend... he doesn't really make me angry a whole lot, but that is, like, the closest answer. So we're gonna go with that. My favorite part of school is... what was my favorite part of school? Definitely my favorite electives. I loved art class. I would skip lunch sometimes to go to art. I'm Claudine. Wow. I mean, yeah, I guess I would ideally call myself loyal, and I definitely am overprotective of the people I care about, and I do hold grudges. That's just fascinating, because I think I have maybe, like, one Claudine doll, if that. I can't even remember. I don't love her design as much as a lot of people do, but I can be appreciative of her personality, I suppose. I guess I kind of have to be. It's pretty much even between that, though, and Frankie Stein, so that's kind of fascinating. Okay, next is the Bratz dolls. So, with Bratz coming back, I kind of felt like this was a good time to do this. Let's figure out who I am. I will say I remember vividly Jade being my favorite doll design. So I'm interested to see if I get Jade or whether I get someone else. Which famous event would I love to attend? Absolutely the Met Gala. I think that, like, the themes are always so fun. That's literally all I care about. Is, like, I think it'd be so fun to have to dress to a theme. I'm very boring. Pick a fashion icon. Oh, see, this is hard because I feel like Rihanna is impeccable. But I also think that Harry Styles is doing a lot for men's fashion specifically and kind of destigmatizing a lot of things in men's fashion. So I think I'm gonna go with Harry Styles. I just think it's so fun that he doesn't care what he, like, wears. Where does my inspiration come from? I mean, I feel like a lot of these are kind of the same, but I would say mostly my dreams. I have very, very vivid dreams at night, and there have been a lot of times where, like, art or little stories that I'll write have come from my dreams. Which summer-themed song would I cue on a night drive? I'm really gonna embarrass myself right now, but I don't know any of these. I'm sure I've heard, like, a smidgen of, like, Hot Girl Summer, but I'm just gonna pick Lana Del Rey for the sake of it being Lana Del Rey because I like some of her other music. Can't speak to her as a person. I don't follow musicians that closely, so, like, what's my favorite relic from the 2000s? Nothing. The unapologetic slutty pop music. That's really funny. I didn't actually listen to, like, popular music until now. No, but I didn't, like, really listen to, like, super mainstream music until I was in, like, middle or high school. So, definitely not that. Probably being just young, carefree, and stupid. I miss not having to worry. Okay, choose a 2000s teen movie. Okay, the only ones of these that I've seen, definitely come from me in the comments for this, are The Princess Diaries and A Cinderella Story, which is interesting because I feel like they kind of have similar themes. But I'm gonna say The Princess Diaries. That'd be so fun to just, like, suddenly discover you're a princess. Like, wow. What does friendship mean to me? All of these. That's not fair. I don't want to pick just one. I mean, I guess fun. Again, I think all of these, but I do think it's very important to be able to have fun with your friends, so. It's my birthday! Woo! Your friends will surprise you with the perfect party. What's the theme? The theme... I do love roller skating, but comfort food and not... I'm a wine person, personally, but that would be nice. Definitely not a warehouse rave. I can't dance. Honestly, I'm going to say a tea party in the garden just because I think that would be so fun and something different than what I usually do. Because, like, I go roller skating almost every week, and I can eat brownies and wine any night that I please. So that's the perk of being an adult. But a tea party in the garden where everyone, like, dresses up, I think would be something different and fun. God, I'm only on question 9. I'm sorry. Oh my god, I feel like I'm taking so long. Your dream lover just invited you over. How do you pull up? On a skateboard with pink boudoir slippers. Ah, that's funny. I don't remember. I have seen Too Fast, Too Furious, but I don't remember the scene they're talking about it. I can drive. I wouldn't make them pay for my... That's me. I'm going to say a pink slippers and a skateboard. Just because, honestly, that's really funny. And again, I want to be funny. What type of nymph would I magically transform into? This is the doomed question. Okay, wait for me for like 3 hours while I try to figure this out. Oh, I want to be all of them. Probably water, though. I love swimming. I did select an answer. I love being in the water. Wow. Which Y2K fragrance did you have / would you have? I didn't have any of these. Tommy Hilfiger makes me feel personally attacked. Honestly, curious, Britney Spears. Just, like, go Britney, you know? She's gone through a lot, and I think that she still has created some amazing things, and I think that she's probably an amazing person behind all of the stuff that she's had to go through, so, for Britney. Of these art forms, which do I graduate to? Film? No. Poetry? Well, I literally said no to film as I'm filming a video. Fashion or music? I write short stories. I don't write poetry. I don't know if I would consider my fashion an art form, but I definitely do have the most fun with that, so that's what we're gonna go with. Which fictional character do you relate to the most? Again, I don't know any of these girls. I am not good at pop culture, but Jules Vaughn has got angel wings on, and she looks like she's sad, which, like, what a mood. What's a personal flaw that your friends can accept you for? Yes, all of them. Literally all of them. I have a lot of flaws. I guess my honesty can be harsh. I don't know when to shut up, so, like, that's probably the best. Who do I think the Bratz would be friends with? Not the Disney princesses. I think that's not a good match. Oh, the Spice Girls, obviously. I feel like they've got similar vibes. Probably the Winx Club, too, but, like, I think the Spice Girls make sense. Me, knowing nothing about the Spice Girls. I did get Jade! I don't know if that makes me narcissistic because she was my favorite character, or if that's just good, then I guess I liked myself. That's really funny. Wow. My energy is chaotic good, false. Chaotic neutral, actually. The scary spice. I don't really know what that means, but I'll take it. Cool. I'm so happy with that. Okay, fun. Wow. Last one is the one that started it all. I know it's on BuzzFeed, but I could find it there. So, this is the Bratz, Barbie, or Faery quiz, which is, you know, like the quiz version of the TikTok filter I was talking about. The filter told me that I was a Bratz, so I guess we'll see if I get the same thing. So how would I spend my day off? I wouldn't play board games with my family. My parents work, like, all the time. What I should do is journal, meditate, and go for a walk. Like, Lord knows I need to calm down. We're gonna go with that. What's a must-have for every outfit? Not florals in every outfit, clearly. Glitter I do love, but not... I'm gonna say shoes. I don't think you have to have a neutral in an outfit if, like, you're doing it well. But, like, if your shoes are bad... What was my favorite thing to watch growing up? I liked Disney Channel. I feel like I also watched an inordinate amount of PBS Kids. But my mom didn't like Cartoon Network. That's not even an option, so it doesn't matter. But I just think that's, like, a funny note. Because my options were fewer. Probably Disney Channel. I have the fondest memories of Disney Channel shows. Like, That's So Raven. Oh. Choose my favorite social media app. Absolutely TikTok. I cannot get enough of TikTok. It's kind of a problem, but it's fine. Pick a bedroom theme. Bold vibes. Oh, where would you grab lunch with your friends? McDonald's or Dunkin', baby. Okay, listen. I am such a cheap date. I'm a sucker for a McChicken any day, anytime. Doesn't matter. And Dunkin' coffee. I was not a coffee drinker until, like, a year ago because my fiance wanted me to start drinking coffee with him. And now I love it, and I'm obsessed with Dunkin'. Oh, delicious. She's my favorite drink. Soda, actually. I know I just went on the whole coffee rant, but I love the feeling of a fizzy soda. Describe my dream home. Ooh, a castle in Europe. I know that other people have different things that they want, but I physically can't understand not wanting to live in a castle, so... My dream job... Okay, this is going to come as a surprise, I feel. I would actually love to be a biologist. I really enjoy science. I think it's so fascinating and interesting. It just isn't how my life took a turn, but I think that that'd be really cool. Choose an area to live in. Dear God. Okay, well... As this, probably... I feel like every decade just gets, like, ever so slightly safer. Ever so slightly. And, like, I'm sure we always take downturns sometimes, but I guess I'd pick the 2000s. I did! I got the same one! A Bratz doll. Okay, I'm good. I do actually leave the house without some of my best fits on when I go to the grocery store, so sorry. Okay, this is funny. You're all probably a fire sign, specifically an Aries. I know I'm going off on a tangent, and I'm sorry. I was born on the first day of Taurus. So, like, technically I'm a Taurus, but I feel like I definitely still have a lot of that residual Aries energy. So that's fascinating. I sometimes listen to Rihanna. I also like Megan Thee Stallion. She's got some good stuff, but like I said, it's not about an artist for me. It's about lyrics. I don't know if I agree with the last little bit. I'm at home a lot. And I use Snapchat to talk to my fiance throughout the day, just because it's easy to like send a little like, hey, how are you? But TikTok's definitely better. But that's so fascinating that I got the same one. I guess it's kind of interesting to think that my appearance on the like TikTok filter and my personality match up. TikTok's really out here like, they know some stuff. Their algorithm is a little too good sometimes, but you know, it is what it is. Anywho, I had fun doing that. I feel like that's always a fun little thing to do, to kind of do personality quizzes. It's just like a silly little entertaining thing, but I really enjoyed it. I hope that you guys had fun as well. Let me know down in the comments if you expected me to get these answers, if you have, you know, been subscribed and kind of see me on camera a little bit more often. And absolutely please let me know what you guys got. I'm very curious to see, like, what kind of people watch my videos. That's so creepy. But I think it would be really fun. So yes, please do comment down below your results. And yeah, I hope that you guys have a lovely rest of your day, your evening, whatever it might be. And I'll catch you in the next video next week. Bye, guys.